About 70 days prior to eruption, we saw coincident changes in almost all of our monitoring data sets, right? So everything was changing at the same time. And post-eruption, when we examined the olivine crystals that came out of the volcano, they are actual records of where the magma was and when it moved around prior to eruption. And those records also aligned at the 70 days prior to eruption mark. And so what this multidisciplinary synthesis tells us is that in late September of 2022, when HVO recognized that Mauna Loa might be gearing up to erupt, there certainly were huge changes happening inside the volcano. And the olivine crystals confirm that. So in a way, even though we can't look at those crystals until after they erupt, they help us to confirm the way we interpret our other monitoring data signals. In our study, we showed that 70 days prior to eruption, these crystals moved from about 3 to 5 kilometers under the summit up to about 1 kilometer under the summit. And so a pretty significant volume of magma moved up into the shallowest portions of this volcano. And once the pressure was high enough, we believed that it simply failed, and then the eruption started. Around early October of 2022, there was enough of an uptick in the earthquakes and the seismicity, right? So like end of September, early October, HVO recognized that Mauna Loa might truly be gearing up for an eruption and immediately began working with all of our community partners, so the National Park Service, but also the Hawaii County Civil Defense, and as you suggested, elected officials in the area. Began discussing potential eruption scenarios and what might happen if it were to erupt. HVO at this time also increased its outreach efforts with the local communities and started visiting different communities across the island to talk about what the next Mauna Loa eruption might look like and how residents could prepare if they needed to evacuate and just to be safe and aware. So all of this was happening in earnest in October and November leading up to the start of the eruption.
So at the end of September 2022, new magma started coming in, and the rate that the magma was coming in picked up a little bit, and that increase in activity charged the system for 2 months, and then it erupted. And so that's a kind of essentially putting constraints, really useful time constraints on this process, and that's something that we almost never have is really good time constraints on how long some of these processes might take.